as I go through the range, I tried to put everything into an annualized cost. So Bergen KDM was at 49,200. Access Systems was at 34.5. Office Town was at 32.5, and Kim Van Diest had a proposal that would equate to 27.3. However, Kim Van Diest had a 3-month proposal at $35 an hour cost. Excuse me. She thought it was prudent to take a look at it on a little bit shorter term. The one thing that Ms. Van Diest does bring to the table in her proposal that was unique was training, and the Finance Committee this afternoon recommended going with Ms. Van Diest for 3 months at $35 an hour based on 15 hours per week.
One thing we did consider the training part. Some of you are probably, if you've taken classes at the library on Facebook or computers, Ms. Van Diest has done a lot of those classes at the library, and is a good trainer. Understandable. I think that's. I think as we talked, that was part of understanding our system. We're putting in some things and doing things that maybe our department heads and staff aren't up to snuff on.
Not as well versed as they could be.
Mm-hmm.
She promised to teach Denny how to use the iPad.
She's got a challenge.
It's going to work for that $35.
We're not paying her a bonus for that.
And it should, in case you don't realize it, in doing this, it was for all the IT service was for all the different departments. Where currently the library has,
Well, yeah,
they have one of the people that bid that does their services or something, but
currently the library has been using a block of hours through Bergen KDM. It's been Network Solutions up until about 6 weeks ago when Bergen KDV, out of Minneapolis or St. Cloud, bought them out, or they merged. So that is a new organization. And I know Office Town is providing services for most of our other departments, including the police department. We're trying to put everything under one umbrella so we have a unique or unified IT system.
Since we're trying to put them all together, is there a max amount of hours she wants to work in a certain time, or is it however much we need her?
As much as we need her. Within reason, our budget will dictate that more than her availability.
One thing that we did talk about this afternoon too is this is not for software, for equipment. It's just an IT person that works to keep the system up and running and recommending what we do need to do.
Correct. When we advertised for a fully managed system. The two higher priced ones were a fully managed system. We also advertised for a block of hours, or an amount of time. And again, we've got proposals across the gamut there, but we wanted to leave it as open-ended as we could to see what was out there to give everybody an opportunity, and I think we found that.
Well, and the other thing this does is it gives us the opportunity to kind of see without being under a lot of obligation beyond the 3 months, but it gives us an opportunity to see how she performs, how the services are. She evidently, which I was impressed at it, she talked to Al about, she saw some other things that we may need, and I guess I like the idea of not being, committed to an employee or a contract, and being able to really see after 3 months, how she can perform, and then to be able to go on beyond that, whether it's a full-time employee or more consulting, do that.
Just one question it just popped into my mind, having taken a class from her. She does work at the Waterloo Library. Is her schedule flexible enough? She can obviously come here during daytime hours?
Yes, that was a concern that I raised, and she does have that flexibility.
I'd like to make a motion then that we accept the offer of Kim Van Diest, I don't know.
Diest?
How do you, is it Van Diest? As our IT consultant,
Based on the,
based on her proposal to the city.
Second it.
Okay, have a motion from Mike, second by Mr. Grover.
I have one question. Do
Okay.
we have a limit here a little bit? I mean, we might get over here and see a whole bunch of stuff, and all of a sudden we're 20, 30 hours a week.
it's based on $35 an hour for 15 hours a week. So,
Okay.
For 3
now,
months.
there might be weeks over and weeks under, but that is our
Okay.
So we're committing to 15 hours a week then, is that it?
not to exceed, that's correct.
Or not to exceed 15 hours a week? Oh,
Again, on your average. I mean, there's some weeks that you
Yeah,
might be more or
yeah.
less, but yes, on the 3 months, it's $35 an hour on a 15-hour per week basis.
okay.
And we're billed for the hours that she works.
Okay.
Now, there is mileage included here.
Yeah, she has some, what they call consumables or per diems that go with that. But again, under contract, she gets paid that above the $35 an hour.
Would she, if something went wrong at the police department at 2 AM, would she be available to be called? I mean, I guess
Would the
that's
others, would the others, Bob?
Well, I
I don't know.
Oh, Bob, that's easy.
I don't know.
Bob, if something goes wrong at the police department at 2 AM, we're calling you.
I'm thinking about the IT.
Austin's really
I
the
will
logical
provide you with the
one.
hammer to fix it.
We did not talk about 2 AM calls specifically.
I mean, it might never happen, but it's.
Randy's here.
Do you ever have that problem, Randy?
Yes, we have.
Have you really?
Yes, we have.
And
It does
what-
happen. I mean, we're under system with Trax, as well as Schubler, and we do have problems with them that unfortunately 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
And how do you
Because
solve
we're
those?
we're 24/7. Our guys are entering information if they have a late night arrest, if they have a late night incident, they're entering that information into our system. And if they encounter a problem, it has been advantageous for us. One of our reserves officers is Brett Schomer from Office Town. And sure
And
enough,
he-
guess what we do? Yeah. And he's been
And
good
he
enough.
was,
He's been just
and he was on
excellent.
the,
He comes right
he was
down,
a contractor
takes
we
a look
have.
at it, see if he can
Right.
help at all.
Right.
And so that's been an advantage to us. You know, that has been. Does it happen? Yes. Does it happen a lot? Not a lot, but it does happen occasionally.
And you haven't been able to deal with it because we had the contract with
With
Office Town?
yeah.
Okay.
Because they're local, they're right here in town.
Right.
And he's one of my reserve officers, and I'm the chief. I said, right.
And you have his direct number?
Yes, correct. And like I said, no complaints, no, come right out, they'll address it, do the best they can with it. Otherwise, we have to wait. We just have to wait until the morning.
And if you wait, does it kill you or just kind of slow you
For
down?
the clerk's office, it does.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Charges can be dismissed. Charges will be dismissed. If that information is not in by 8 o'clock AM, charges dismissed. Because we are now in the electronic age and they require it. It's mandated by the state of Iowa. It's not a choice anymore. It's not paper. I can't even file paperwork on it. I can't even file a piece of paper and say, will you take this in its place? They will not accept that. It has to be done electronically. It's the only thing they will accept. Yeah.
So maybe we need to.
So that's actually a service they provide that possibly these other ones that we've gotten bids on would not be available for?
Correct, yes.
That's a state law, Randy?
Pardon?
That's
It's
a
not a
state.
law, it's mandated by the state.
That's what I mean.
It's mandated by the state, that you have to, well, when I say by the state, I'm talking about the judicial districts. They're the ones who mandate it. We don't have a choice. If it's not into the clerk of courts by 8 o'clock AM, they don't have the information